Alright folks, Scott Review Guy. So, the crazy week in Review Guy land is still ongoing, so I'm glad I could sneak away for a moment to touch base with everybody. So, hopefully everything will be back to normal by the end of the week. Regular reviews, everything will be nice, but I felt I needed to. This is exciting. Remember the excitement of the pay-per-view challenge? Were you not excited? I was excited. Well, we have a winner. We have a winner. The winner's name is TheVCWrestling. Now, I would like to talk about our predictions. Why I predicted, and the way it worked, obviously, was TheVCWrestling most closely matched my predictions to the Money in the Bank ladder match, which weren't all correct. So, let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about why I thought what I thought going into it. But certainly have a look at the TheVCWrestling's channel. I didn't have a lot of time. I was being very brief in my checking, but I looked at his channel. It looks like a very neat idea, where a very interactive thing. You can cut promos for your own, like, virtual wrestler. TheVCWrestling is a virtual championship wrestling, and it's like a SmackDown versus Raw type thing that he makes up and animates. I don't know exactly how it works. I'll look into it more, but certainly have a look at that. Now let's talk what happened. Let's go down the list from least to most. Well, let's just start with Ray. Ray. We both said Ray would win, and we were both right for a little while about the World Heavyweight title. Why did I say that? I don't know. I just said it. That one was kind of up in the air for me. In fact, it's kind of natural when you think that that's the one that they choose to let Kane cash in. Let me say quickly, though, about Kane cashing in. Did I not say a few months ago, I believe I said, that Kane needs to win the title, and I said, hey, and you know, just a crazy win out of nowhere would be good. I mean, it would be fitting, and that's what we got. So it's interesting that it happened that way. Also, it's good that we got saved from a Rey Mysterio or a Jack Swagger reign. I believe that recently neither of those two have proven themselves to be great champions. I don't know, but Kane is in the middle of a storyline, so good for you, Kane, on a lot of levels, and good for us that we get to see something interesting, at least I hope. Okay, tag team titles, Hart Dynasty. I said they would win. The TheVCWrestling said they would win. They did win. Why? Just not quite time for the Usos. Not quite time. A little too soon. Okay, women's and divas. Now, when I make up my prediction card, tell me if you do the same. I like to say, okay, let's look at this title, let's look at this title, we need to have a face win here, we need to have a heel win here, we can't have a complete heel card, right? So, had I used that logic, I would have said, one face would win the divas, the heel would win the women's, or vice versa. This time I didn't say that. I just took an objective look, and I said, okay, Layla wins, we get more lay cool, which I could do with more lay and less cool, but couldn't we all? No, stop it. Stop it. I don't really know what that means now that I think about it. It sounded dirty, so I ran with it. Yeah, so Layla wins, we get more lay cool, and I feel like there's still something to lay cool, or at least in the minds of the powers that be. Alicia Fox, if she wins, I feel like Alicia's got something there. It just needs to be mined. It needs to be, they just need to bring it out of her. And maybe another month or another couple months is all she needs. That's what I said, so that's why I said Alicia will win. And obviously that's what the WWE folks said would win. Okay, the WWE title, I said Sheamus. The TheVCWrestling said Sheamus. And Sheamus won. Now, I didn't foresee the Nexus stepping in, but I just sat back and I said to myself, okay, as in the wrestling realm, the wrestling world, I don't want to say lore, I don't know that, but there would be nothing more satisfying than seeing John Cena in a steel cage beating the tar out of Sheamus. I just said that's it. That's great. That's a great ending to this whole thing. But then I said, I just don't see it. I just don't see Sheamus losing the title and having 2 one-month reigns. You know, it kills whatever. And I know he doesn't have a lot of momentum because he's not a He's not a legitimate champion, is the word I use all the time. But Sheamus. But I said if he, I said that he just needs to hold on to it, if for nothing else, to spare we the wrestling fans and we the caring wrestling fans from having to see another throwaway, you know, title change. Hey, I don't know it's been a long day, and I might have had a heat stroke today. No, I didn't. But would that make you feel bad for me if I told you? Okay, now we get to the money. Now that we matched all of them, me and the VC Wrestling. This is where the trouble begins. Let's talk about the SmackDown Money in the Bank match. Kane won. I said Dolph would win. I had no idea. I would never have picked Kane, ever, because I didn't think he had a chance, because that's just kind of how Kane's career is going right now at this phase. I didn't know who... I thought maybe... Oh, no, I didn't think it. So I went with Dolph, just kind of a gut thing. I'd love to see Dolph win. Part of me said, no, it's not going to be Dolph, because that's going to screw up the whole Vicky storyline that they're kind of pushing here. But I didn't know who else to go with. Watch the other video to hear my ruminations on the participants, but I just said Dolph. And that one, the VC Wrestling said McIntyre, Drew McIntyre. I just didn't see McIntyre winning, because again, he has his own little thing going with his chosen one bit, and I just kind of feel like a briefcase, that would throw a wrench in that, because I kind of feel like the briefcase is going to be the start of a story, as opposed to pumping up any story that's already existing. Okay, then the final one. The Raw Money in the Bank match. I saved the best for last. Why? My prediction was John Morrison. Somebody wrote in their comments, Scott, I know you're not going to go with your heart here because it's not his time. And that's what I said until last Monday night's Raw with his little deal with Ted DiBiase. And somebody else, I'd heard speculation that DiBiase would try to buy the briefcase from somebody. And I feel like Morrison and DiBiase are really great foes right now. DiBiase is a great foil for Morrison as it stands, and I feel like that's a great pairing, a great feud. I heard talk about Melina coming back and being, you know, Jomo and Melina versus DiBiase, or you know, being counterparts, and Maurice. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I thought, man, I just feel it because Morrison is right there. Instead, Morrison, who's right there, didn't win it, but The Miz, who's right there, won it. And I'm glad to see that. I'm glad it wasn't a gimmicky win, meaning a gimmick, well, just like an instant cash-in or a Nexus member winning or whatever, like we talked about beforehand. I'm glad that it was a classic Money in the Bank win, where you have a guy who's just needs just something to push him up that next step to the next step of his career. So good for you, Miz. Good for you, VC Wrestling. We will be in touch very soon, and I will gather the prize pack, all of the stuff that I'm going to buy and send to you, and I will send it. I'll show everybody what we're gonna send. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good stuff. So anyway, that's all the time I've got for now. But thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. Everybody who participated in the challenge, and we'll have another one very soon. We'll figure out what to do. So we'll talk to you soon. Adios. Oh, I've got to stop it. See, I'm in a different.